Booyah! We're ready for story number 2. Are you ready, Addie?
Yeah.
You did pretty good on the last one. Now turn our listening ears on. Go ahead and put our hands in our lap. And we're ready. The Song of the West. Mr. Mark watched as the horsemanship campers rode across the desert sand. On this overnight ride, the campers would learn about horses and some of the job that horses are used for. Several experienced wranglers rode among the campers. These men would be teaching the campers about working with cattle. Mr. Mark rode behind the line of campers and wranglers, although it made his ride a dusty one. Being at the back of the line allowed him to keep watch over the campers and make sure they were safe. His dog, Beck, trotted alongside him. Soon one of the wranglers spotted some cattle. The campers were excited to be able to put what they had learned into practice. Beck ran ahead and began barking and running around the cattle, helping to round up the strays. One of the wranglers got a fire started and began heating up the branding iron. The wranglers helped the campers brand the calves, and then they let the calves go. By the time the branding was finished, everyone was dusty and worn out. Mr. Mark brought out the food and supervised the campers as the campers cooked it over the fire. Although Beck enjoyed the smell of the food, he had been trained not to beg. Mr. Mark sat down with a plate of food and called Beck over. He had brought Beck's food along on the trail ride. After a good hot meal, everyone bedded down in sleeping bags under the stars. Mr. Mark enjoyed looking up into the bright desert sky. It always amazed him at how many more stars he could see in the desert. The night was dark and cold. Then Mr. Mark heard howling, sometimes known as the Song of the West. The coyotes' howls alerted Mr. Mark to the fact that the coyotes were near. Mr. Mark jumped up. He and Beck started walking around the sleeping area, keeping careful watch over the campers. The coyotes' howls became softer, and after a while, Mr. Mark crawled back into his sleeping bag. His faithful dog took a watchful place beside him. It wasn't unusual to hear coyotes howling at night at the camp, although most coyotes go out of their way to avoid humans. Mr. Mark was alert to the risk. He and Beck would often get up in the night to check on things when they heard howling. It had been a good trail drive. The new calves were branded and the campers were closer to their goal of becoming expert horsemen. All right, so I'm going to ask the questions. I'm going to count down from 3. If you need more time to answer the question, you can pause the video. But after the count of 3, Addie's going to give it her best shot. What is a horsemanship camp? Don't know that one? It's a special camp that teaches campers all about caring for horses and learning how to take care of the jobs that horses help to do. Why did Mr. Mark ride at the back of the line of the campers and wranglers? Why did he ride at the back?
To keep watch of the campers.
Awesome job. What did Mr. Mark's dog, Beck, do to help when the campers saw the cattle?
Help round up the cattle.
Yep, he helped round up the cattle. I think you've probably seen that in movies before, huh? When the dog will help round up cattle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why did the wranglers build a fire? Why would they build a fire?
To keep warm.
Yeah, to keep warm. And what else did they need to do? They needed to cook their food. You're right. What did Beck have for supper?
Dog food.
Dog food. Yep, that's his food. What did Mr. Mark enjoy seeing in the sky? What did he like seeing in the sky at night?
Some so many more stars.
Yeah, a lot of stars. Have you ever looked at the stars in the night sky?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. And are they pretty cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did Mr. Mark hear that is often called the Song of the West? The Song of the West.
The coyotes howling.
The coyotes howling. Woo! How did Mr. Mark know that the coyotes were going away?
It got softer and softer.
Got softer and softer as they were walking away, huh? Why did the coyotes move away from the campsite?
Because they're known to stay away from humans.
Yeah, they don't want to interact with any humans. Mm-mm. Do you think the campers enjoyed the roundup? Do you think they liked it?
Yes.
Yeah, you think so? That would be a pretty fun experience. I would want to do that. How about you?
Yeah.
All right, are you ready to say goodbye? Bye.
Bye.